Hello and welcome to Madeleine at the Movies, the Golden Days film review segment, designed to make you feel a little more informed when it comes to choosing what to watch next. I'm Madeleine Swain. If The Odyssey is the biggest film of the year so far, another juggernaut is following hot on its heels. And this is one that is part of a well-established franchise with multiple arms and sub-chapters, and a lot of them come together in this one. It's also hard to miss the fact that 3 of the stars of The Odyssey also headline this one. I'm talking about the new Spider-Man film, Spider-Man Brand New Day, in which Tom Holland appears in the red and blue suit for the 7th time, 4 solo movies and 3 are crossovers, and is joined by Zendaya, back as MJ, and also John Bernthal, who plays Menelaus in the Nolan film, and here appears as the Punisher, just one of a number of comic book heroes popping up. We also get Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova, aka Black Widow, in a most enjoyable extended cameo, advising Spider-Man from her so-called office, which is actually a bathhouse, and Mark Ruffalo joins the action as both Bruce Banner and the Hulk. And most importantly, there is a pivotal character from the X-Men franchise, but I don't want to give too many spoilers away about their role here. Suffice to say, whether you're a superhero, Marvel, comic book fan or not, this is a pretty strong contribution to both the genre and the Spider-Man series. You may remember that in the previous film, No Way Home, Peter Parker, Spider-Man, resorted to using a spell to make all of his nearest and dearest, including MJ and Jacob Batalon's Ned Leeds, forget him in order to protect them in the future. And what this means in Brand New Day is that we find a Peter Parker who is focused solely on crime fighting. He's doing an amazing job and everyone in New York loves him, but he is utterly alone and painfully lonely. And this informs what happens next. The whole film is a simple exploration of the notion no man, or superhero for that matter, is an island. What gives it added heft and depth is that the chief antagonist is no two-dimensional villain, but, as we increasingly see in the more thoughtful films in this genre, such as Black Panther for instance, someone with a genuine and justifiable grudge, someone who has been horribly hurt and mistreated and is deserving of compassion as much as anything else. And appropriately for such emotional themes, the acting is also more nuanced and credible. Holland and Zendaya have a wonderful rapport on screen, and it's not surprising that this is translated to an off-screen relationship, but it's the audience who get the benefit of that here. And just when you think you've had all the superheroes we can stomach for one lifetime, they'll pop out one that is actually worth a watch, and this is one of them. Spider-Man Brand New Day is rated M, runs for 145 minutes, and is screening in general release now. For Golden Days listeners, however, there's another film that has also just opened that you may perhaps find more intriguing. The Blue Trail is a Brazilian drama set in a dystopian near future where all older people are relocated to quote-unquote colonies to live out their lives peacefully and with thanks from a grateful population for their service. Well, that's the story they're being fed. But if you immediately have Logan's Run type vibes and are extremely suspicious of this senior's paradise, you wouldn't be alone. In Gabriel Mascaro's film, 77-year-old Teresa isn't really questioning the truth of the destination. She just knows that she doesn't want to go and genuinely doesn't feel ready to be sent to the scrap heap simply because she's reached a certain birthday. Accordingly, she sets off on a personal journey of escape, taking to the river and hitching a couple of rides with willing accomplices. It's a curious and enjoyably original tale, and Denise Weinberg is excellent in the lead role. And it's always great to see an older woman as a protagonist in a film, especially when she has autonomy and the gumption to decide her own destiny. The only slightly questionable thing about it is actually the poster, which naturally features Weinberg front and centre, but she also shares the frame with Rodrigo Santoro, who is a comparatively minor character, particularly when you compare him with Miriam Sakaris. Do the marketing team think people won't come and see the film if it has 2 older women on the poster? And it's only because Santoro has a bit more of a profile that he gets the spotlight? I think the answer's probably clear. The Blue Trail is rated M, runs for 86 minutes, and is screening in selected cinemas now. As is the latest National Theatre live production, a new staging of Christopher Hampton's Liaisons Dangereuses. Now, this has been staged and restaged frequently since Hampton's adaptation of the Laclos decadent 1782 novel first hit the West End in 1987. A production I was lucky enough to see, by the way. It was famously filmed by Stephen Frears the following year with a fabulous cast including John Malkovich, Glenn Close and Michelle Pfeiffer. Now, this latest stage version that we're getting courtesy of National Theatre Live was directed by Marianne Elliott, and it's a very bold and sexy affair, as it should be. Aidan Turner from the Poldark remake is a fabulously louche Valmont, and Leslie Manville matches him every step of the way as Madame de Merteuil. It's a production that is inventive, uses dance superbly, both figuratively and literally, and has a terrific set design. It's well worth catching. It runs for 178 minutes, is not rated, and is screening in selected cinemas now. And it's also the Melbourne Film Festival starting this week, but I haven't even had a chance to look through the programme yet. It's been sitting in my inbox for weeks, and I'll get to it soon. But there are so many things opening, it's just going to have to take its turn. So before I go, it is that time of year again when CatVideoFest comes around, raising money for cats in need and bringing together a new movie every year comprising a whole heap of internet cat videos stitched together to make a feature-length feline film of fun and frivolity. Now, if you're not a feline aficionado, it may just be a canny or curious kitten too far, but for anyone else, it's a lot of fun. And there's the good cause side of the equation. It will be shown from the 13th to the 16th of August, and that's not the only time it's going to be shown, so don't miss out. And you can find out all the screening locations by visiting CatVideoFest.com. But they do include the Classic in Elsternwick, the Lido in Hawthorne, and the Nova in Carlton. And that's all from me for this time. Remember that you can catch up with any missed reviews at the website matm.com.au. Madeleine at the Movies was produced and edited by Blair Purvis. Stay safe and well, and thanks for listening.